You guys, welcome back. Today, we're gonna go over all of the book series I'm currently in the middle of, meaning I've read a couple books in these series and I just haven't finished them yet, but I own the physical copies. Insane, actually. Up first, up at the top, I have the last three books in the Mortal Instruments series by Cassandra Clare. I read the first three books and really enjoyed it, but I heard you have to then stop and read The Infernal Devices or one of the other trilogies that she wrote, and then return to this series. It's like a whole reading order with all of the books that this author has, and I don't own any of those other series yet, so that's really made me put a pause on this series and I've yet to return back to it, but I would love to because I did like the first three. It was very nostalgic. I love the idea of shadow hunters. I'd love to get back into this world, but there's a lot of other Cassandra Clare books I need to read before I return to this series, so I'm in the middle of this one still. Up next, I have some Carrie Maniscalco. The last three books I have are Capturing the Devil, Escaping from Houdini, and Haunting Prince Dracula. This one I think I'm most excited for. I didn't love Stalking Jack the Ripper. I remember it just had a lot to do with like surgery and body parts, and I don't enjoy that. So I am excited for the rest of these though. I do like that each book in the series has like a different theme though, and yet they're all still taking place in the past, I believe. I haven't read one of these in a while. I'm hoping maybe fall time. This will be a good opportunity to get some of these done because I think they have like fall themes. I have the rest of the Harry Potter series to read. I don't even own all of the books because I am thrifting all of them. I'm buying them secondhand. We're not giving J.K. Rowling any money, but I do have these beautiful dust jackets from Nerdy Ink. They're the Ravenclaw set, and I think I'm on book 4. I'm currently in the middle of Goblet of Fire, and I have the Half-Blood Prince and the Deathly Hallows, so I think I just need the hard copy of Goblet of Fire and Order of the Phoenix, and then I'll have them all. But I will say this is the first time I'm reading the series. I do think I fly through them because I know the movies so well. I do like that we're getting a lot of other information we don't get in the movies, but I do remember thinking these were written a little more young than I was expecting. At least so far in where I am in book 4, these don't seem as intricate or as involved as some of the other YA fantasy books I've read, which doesn't make any sense because the movies and the lore and everything that's surrounding Harry Potter is so huge that I'm surprised that this is how the books are. But again, I'm only on book 4, so maybe as the series goes on it gets better and better and more details, but I just thought that was interesting. This might be one of the rare times that I like the movies more than the books, but I could be biased because I grew up watching the movies and this is the first time I'm reading the books. Up next, I have the Poppy War trilogy. I only read book 1. I thought it was fantastic and then I stopped because honestly I felt like book 1 ended well. Like I don't know how or what these other two books are going to be about. Book 1 was insane though. Book 1 was intense. I think that's why I'm scared to continue, but I just remember feeling like book 1 ended and I was surprised it wasn't a standalone. So, but yeah, I do need to continue on with the series. It was very like high fantasy, strong main character, a lot of politics, there was magic, there was training, there's like this school they go to. I do remember really loving like the academy in this series. So I need to revisit this. R.F. Kuang's writing is insane. I have books 2 and 3 in the Caraval series by Stephanie Garber. I actually don't think I have any desire to continue on with this series. I did not like book 1 even a little bit. I did not connect with it. I was so mad at the ending. But this is a perfectly good example of why you should not buy box sets unless you've read and enjoyed the first book in series. Disliking Caraval is why I've yet to start the Once Upon a Broken Heart series. I just don't think Stephanie Garber's for me. An author that is for me is Mr. Neal Shusterman. The Ark of Scythe trilogy is one of my favorite series of all time, so I knew I had to start the Unwind series by him. These are the ones I have left. Absolutely insane concept. Basically, when kids, I think, turn the age of like 16, their parents can decide whether or not they want to unwind their kids, which essentially means unaliving them, but they are taken apart piece by piece and they can rebuild other people with these pieces. It's insane. I don't know how this man comes up with concepts like this, but I'm into it and I need to finish the series. I have another Neal Shusterman series I need to read. This is the Skinjacker trilogy. I read the first book. We're basically following a group of kids who, after being unalived, I'm just realizing the theme with these books. After they're unalived, they go to this place. It's between life and death. It's in a sort of limbo and it's called Everlost, and we're following them and they have these adventures. If it's by Neal Shusterman, I'm gonna read it and I need to finish the series because I love Scythe so much. I know that these other series are probably going to hit the same, so I need to read them. What's super embarrassing is I have yet to finish this series, which was in my original video, which is the An Ember in the Ashes series. I still have books 3 and 4 left, A Reaper at the Gates and A Sky Beyond the Storm. I loved the first 2 books in this series. It's been years since I read this series, but I loved all of the character development that was happening throughout. I might have to have a full video of like finishing the series I'm in the middle of, because this is one that I really want to get done. I have other Saboteur books as well, but I want to read these before I venture out into her other work. I have the Green Bone Saga I haven't finished yet. I read Jade City. It just wasn't what I was expecting, and that's why I didn't immediately continue on with the series, but I do want to. I want to go back into this world. I think it just took book 1 way too long to get me hooked. Hopefully I'll be more into these 2, so we gotta finish that soon. And then I have like a whole bunch of romance series I'm in the middle of. Darker romances, to be specific. I have the Dark Side series by Christy Cunning. This is books 3 and 4, and I actually might force myself to read this like tonight, because I'm forgetting what happened in the first 2 books, and this is like Halloween themed. There's ghosts. It's an easy read. I might have to put that aside so I can finish that. But if you read the Mind F series by S.T. Abbey, this is just another pseudonym for C.M. Owens. It is reverse harem and super entertaining, so do recommend, but I need to finish it myself. I have the last book in the Devil's Night series by Penelope Douglas. I'm almost done with Kill Switch right now. That's my current read, and I honestly, at this point, I don't know how I feel about that 3rd book. I liked the first 2 books in the series. This 3rd one, I really don't know. But I own this last book. I'm thinking maybe I should just finish it off. But I will say I was disappointed in that 3rd book. At least so far I am. We'll see how it ends. I think Penelope Douglas books are like my guilty pleasure though. They're not life-changing. I don't read them for the literary aspects at all, but they're always an entertaining read. I do still have books 3 and 4 in the Dark First series by Runex, The Finisher and the Emperor. And I think the last book in the series is coming out soon, and that will be the final book, and this will be a complete series. So I do need to read these. I've said it before, this is like my favorite dark mafia romance series. Every other mafia romance I've read, it just felt forced or weird or smut just for the sake of being smut, and I don't like books like that. These I felt like had a really good plot, and I liked the characters. I felt like there was a good connection. So this is something I am excited to continue on reading. And finally, like I talked about in the last video, I've got the Twisted series I'm still in the middle of. And in the middle of, I read the first book and I hated it, and I haven't read any of them since, but I have Twisted Games, Twisted Hate, and Twisted Lies. I'm really excited for Twisted Hate and Twisted Lies just because I've heard those are the best in the series. This little number is why I have yet to get to the last 2 though. This one doesn't sound good to me, but I think it's like Princess and Bodyguard. I do want to finish the series to just say I've read it, and I want to give each book a chance on its own because I know they're all different. They're following different characters. So I'd like to at least have Twisted Games done by the end of the year. But that is all of the series I'm currently in the middle of and that I own the physical copies of. Because I'm in the middle of so many series, it stops me from starting new ones. I'd like to really buckle down one month and try to have all of the books on my monthly TBR be these books so I can be done with all of these series so that I can have no guilt going into other series. That is pretty much it for today though. I hope I wasn't too negative. I feel like a lot of this was me explaining that I didn't like the first book for some reason, and that's why I haven't continued reading. But a lot of these here are like fantasy worlds, and that is what has been stopping me from reading other fantasy books this year. So we need to fix that. I need to set some goals for myself. This was very eye-opening though. I've been wanting to know for a while now how many series I'm in the middle of, and I think there's about 12 here, so that's way too many. This was fun to do. So if you yourself are in the middle of a bunch of different series, let me know in the comments. Let me know which ones and how many books you have left in those series. Reminder as always to subscribe to my shared channel, Loranda Reads, if you haven't already. We are very consistent, and we also have a book club on Fable, so I'll leave that link in the description if you want to join and read with us. Thank you guys so much for watching though. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys next time. I'm trying to turn on my ring light, and I think she's finally died. We might just have to use the overhead light. What do we think about using this reading light for lighting, you guys? Oh, do I have too many things plugged into my room? Let's see if that fixes it. Oh my god, I'm so smart! See, Dad, I didn't go to college for no reason.